how many rounds of golf would you say you play a week at least? I mean, do you play?
Depends on where I am. But if I'm home, like full rounds, 4 maybe.
Damn, that's a lot.
But I'm practicing like every day. So.
You said that's a lot? Bro, she could play 36 a day if she wanted to, but she's only playing 4 rounds because she practices 6 hours a day.
Yeah.
That's a true statement.
Like playing.
Quick story. Me, Erica, JR, and Paris played in that Kith thing as a team. So just to let you understand how much better Paris is than me and Erica, and I'm not going to speak for JR.
Throw me in there.
It's a scramble. So remember when you played with John Rahm?
Yeah.
She's John Rahm. Does that make sense?
No, literally, we was using her drives, bro.
Every hole. She wouldn't tee off on the women's tee. She's teeing off from the men's tee, and we're using her drive 80% of the time.
We won.
And then, of course, we won because we got...
Just letting everyone know.
We got Drippy with us. No problem.
Welcome to the Part 3 podcast. I am one of your hosts, J.R. Smith. This is Ben Baller, Stephen Malbon. As you all know, we have a very special guest here tonight, one of my brand partners in Oakley. Shout out to my Oakley gang, you know what I'm saying? But amazing person, amazing friend, hell of a golfer. Obviously, everybody, well-renowned Miss Paris Hilinski. Welcome to the first tee. Welcome to the show. We finally get to have you on.
Thank you. Yeah,
welcome
I'm so
to the first
excited.
tee.
It's so dope because we all know each other, and it feels like, unfortunately, I'm not in the room, but it feels like home. Like it's just a regular chat, not like just, a real live interview. So this is dope.
Yeah, I'm excited. I don't do a lot of podcasts, so I'm happy it's like you guys.
I got to say, being the newest person in golf in this room and being the oldest person, Paris, no idea how. Just know she was following me, and I was like, okay, let me see what this person's about. Follow back, swing like fucking the Incredible Hulk, and I'm like, this person's gonna hurt their back hitting this hard. Jesus Christ, and just striping it, right? Like crazy. The most encouraging, nicest person, and has sent the most heartfelt, motivational messages on my journey. That's rare for anyone to say something like that. Thank you very much for being so cool.
Of course. I mean, like, the more I can do to help anyone get into golf, like, I'm willing to do it. Like,
you remember, like, the first time, like, I was like, okay, learning, first lesson with Ron.
I was like, hey, you're getting there.
It's like, all right. But, like, there. You know what I mean? Like, you see the swing and like, what the hell? Jesus Christ, chick is an animal. She's a straight machine. It's that Claude Harmon right there, man.
Yeah, I'm getting there too.
It's a constant battle, isn't it?
All the time.
Real quick question. When you follow through with your driver or irons too, but you follow through and then you give it an extra little double pump follow through, what is it?
That's not like a thing I do purposely. It's just like something I've done since I started. And I guess no one's told me to take it out, so it's just always going to be there.
It definitely makes sure you go left.
Yeah.
Right?
I think like I've always struggled with like getting through the ball. So it's just like a way to like add that extra like oomph, like make sure I get through it. Yeah.
It's amazing. And so I when I first met you, same thing, very, very positive and like excited about what's going on in golf and all of the obvious opportunities to grow the game and to push boundaries and to be respectful of it and everything, but at the same time, like do it in a little bit more of like futuristic way, and like what the future looks like definitely looks a lot brighter now than it did when we met, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So some of that stuff, and then I thought you used to get lessons with Claude like every day. but then I found out it's not the case.
No,
right?
no. Instagram can make a lot of things look a lot of different ways. No, I basically, I work with Claude a bit when I'm home, but I'm like never home and he's never home. So I really just kind of teach myself, which it works sometimes, you know?
You teach yourself?
Yeah. Like when I started, I worked with a coach for a little bit to learn like basics. And then after that, I just like watched a lot of YouTube videos and kind of just played a lot, I guess, to try to figure out how the game works and whatnot. And then I obviously like started playing pretty well and I was like, oh, I got this, you know? But yeah, I mean, like there's a lot that you can teach yourself in golf. Like you don't need a coach necessarily all the time to get better, in my opinion. It's different for everyone though.
But I like it because for me, like every time I see you, you're grinding. You know, we pull up to Floridian, I see you grinding. Pull up to, you know, so many different courses, I see you, whether it's putting, chipping, and it's very rare that you have someone, you know, just so driven towards the game. And for me, that's one thing I love and appreciate about you more than anything, because I feel like you're always consistently, constantly working. And I feel like, you know, whatever the goals is, for you, I feel like it's definitely going to pay off just because you put the time and energy and effort and the love and the heart into the game. And a lot of people just out here just, you know, that we want to be good, but don't put the time into it, you know, and to do and make that effort consistently is very admirable to me.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely.
I don't even look at like when I see you, like you post a lot of golf shots. I don't even look like some people look at it who, let's say they know golf, some people don't. And you'll like, let's say for instance, you'll hole out on some chip shots. You hit like seven, you know,
Yeah.
40-yard shots, 25 yards, close chip shots. And a couple go in. When you see all the balls that you've hit and they're all within like 4 feet in, right? And people are like, man, she rehearsed the shit. And I'm like, dog, ain't nobody got time to fucking put them fucking balls out there and try to do all that cap and shit. You know what I mean? Because you'll do like 4 in a row. But how good the editing is, you could see the way you're filming. From someone who receives so much hate, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm used to it. I just like, it motivates me, whatever. Being a girl, I notice you have a different, like you have a very alpha way of looking at the business side of golf, right? Like you'll go against the thing, not necessarily going against PGA or LPGA or anything, but going against the norm. And I love that. And what I mean is like, you've corrected me on shit when I'm like, I said something, JR, I was like, yo, bro, Brooks, Cam, Phil, all the lip dudes, bro, they ain't about to compete in this damn Masters and do whatever. And she was like, I don't know, man. You know, she just kind of kept it PC, but like, she was basically telling me, you gonna see. And then 3 of the top 4 in the Masters were live players.
Yeah.
And she didn't even say anything to me about it. And I was like, all right, fuck you. You know, you have to say that, then you was right. But I'm just saying, like, why do you feel like you kind of go against the grain in the you know, the more general, like?
Yeah, I mean, I've never been like, I'm not trying to be like against like the PGA or I'm not like against anybody. I'm just trying to like actually grow the game. I feel like a lot of times these organizations are very focused on like preserving this like very tight knit group of like elitism that's been in the game for so long. And they like act like they're trying to do a lot about it. And they really aren't, from my perspective as like a young girl trying to play professional golf. And so like, I'm not trying to go against anyone. I think I'm just trying to like see, okay, like there's other ways that the game can grow that you guys aren't trying. And I guess that can be looked at as like going against the grain and going against people, but just trying to do something different and see if it works.
Right. Aren't we all?
Especially you,
I don't think
Steven.
it's necessarily against the grain. I think you just got your own way of doing things. I think a lot of us do, and we just, when it's not the conventional way of thinking or doing certain things, is just looked at as, you know, being adverse. What's the word? I can't say it. I don't know that.
No, but you're right though. She's not going about the conventional way about thinking about things. Like she's not necessarily going one straight line. And I appreciate that, because I think when everyone's like, let's say for instance, and I don't care if I get in, like when I look at LPGA players, it is definitely one, like they're all aligned in a certain way, right? In a way. And I just think that maybe the fact that you're thinking about how a contract should look for an influencer or for a golfer or whatever it is, and if a girl's getting paid $1,300, whereas you know you can get $25 or $50 or $100,000, I mean, it's a big difference. You know what I mean? Like, why the fuck would you?
Big difference.
Yeah, it's like when I found out that an LPGA player was getting a discount on a hybrid, Like, we talking about discount? You sent me a club next day air. What are you talking? Like, that's messed up, right? This is a girl who actually, is a professional, and they got to pay for some of their clubs. Like, damn, that's messed up.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Like, I mean, obviously I'm in it and stuff, and I know a lot about like what people are getting paid, and like it's not a lot. Obviously, as a girl, like viewership's not up, so whatever. Like, you can say what you want, but I think like hearing that, there's a lot of girls that are like, oh, well, that's like her own thing she has to figure out. But I feel like in order for things to actually change, like you all have to kind of fight for what you want, especially like in women's golf. And there's a lot of girls that are just very content, I guess, with where they are. And like, I'm just not, because I just think there's so much more out there for women playing golf. So it's like, hey, like if you want it, you kind of just have to ask for it. Like,
but where did that come from? Like, did it come from your dad? Did it come from your mom? Like, I'm curious.
I think a lot of it came from my dad. My dad's like very, he's very hard-headed. And so like, I think I learned a lot from him growing up about how if you want something, you kind of have to fight for it. And I just took that into golf and saw that a lot of people weren't kind of thinking that way. And I was like, well,
but he's also very business savvy too, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's...
Yeah, no, it works in a lot of lanes. So,
right.
Yeah, probably my dad.
Basically, okay, great. She's a great golfer and trains constantly, but like, I don't know if people understand how much she's working like on fashion, on designing, on concepts, on partnerships, on like building a community, building relationship with creatives. I mean, we met, same way you guys did on Instagram and have been, obviously friends, but also like I'll hit her up when I want to know like an opinion on something, and because she's going to tell me the truth. She's not going to tell me, oh, that's dope. If it's not dope, she's going to say, that's not it. Like, rethink that one, homie.
Right.
Right. And then at the same time, she'll hit me up and be like, so-and-so reached out. They want to do a project. Like, is this remember even those distributors from some other country hit up on like a character check. And she's like, after this paragraph I write, it's over. Like, the deal's over. They're calling me about a character check on you and Erica. Like, wait till you see what I write. So like, that's like, he was saying like envious of like how hard you practice and work on the golf course, but like she'll be hitting me at like midnight. Like, I have this idea. Do you think this would work? And this has been going on for years. Yeah. It's not like this is just once every blue moon. This is like twice a week. I want to work with this artist. Do you have any relationship with him? I have this concept. And it's all based off of like, like working with people like Off-White or people like Jerry at Fear of God, and, Estevan, like hooked up with Estevan and did Estevan hands, the LA hands on hoodies for LA golf.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just like,
and she doesn't even know that I've known Estevan for 30 years. You know what I'm saying? That's my bro. Like, that's my boy.
But she's smart enough to say, like, I see he follows you, Steve. What's up with him? I want to work on this project. I'm like, damn, no problem. Like, I call him right now. And, you know,
I'm stoked.
Then like a month ago, she's like, I'm going down near Skid Row to go meet Estevan and them. I'm like, leave your watch.
Yeah.
And she's like, my dad.
This is someone I work
My
with.
dad already told me that, guys.
You know what's funny too is not a lot of people are, not in the word generous, or like they're like blockers and shit like that. Dude, I've known Ronnie for 21 or 22 years. She's the one that actually reached out to me to be a part of the Kith campaign. Something politically went wrong, and that's whatever, but Ronnie didn't reach out. Like she did, and she connected me with somebody, and it was like, I got you this, this, and this. Yeah, you're going first class here, I got you this. And I was like, Paris, what the fuck are you talking about? You did not make this happen.
She put me on that one too.
Yeah,
and then say that makes three of us.
Yeah.
And then JR's in the goddamn commercial. So I'm like, wait a second, what?
I was literally Paris's doing.
Yeah, me too.
That's
going
crazy,
there.
Paris.
That
That's
was a fun
nuts.
time.
She's like literally texted me like, hey, I'm group texting with somebody. I was like, who? Yeah, I'm about to put you in this kit thing, whatever. You're gonna get this kit back. I was like, wait, what? And then I saw the itinerary, and I was like, this is for real?
Yeah.
But JR, fun fact, man, I don't know if you know this. I don't know if the world will know now. Steven too. I went to high school with Paris's mom.
Yeah, so random.
I
How
remember
random
that.
is that? Oh, I told you that?
Yeah.
That's just random as hell, right?
Super random.
And what's even scarier is I'm older than her mom. You know what I mean? So like that's just crazy. But like it was just a trip that randomly happened, like by nothing. I was like, hold on, tell your mom I said hello, and that's crazy as hell. But your mom does she fuck with golf at all or no?
No, my mom, well, now she like thinks she knows a lot about golf, you know, like she knows like nothing about it, but I'll go play and she'll be like, you really need to like stop making bogeys. Like, I think that's your problem. I'm like, yeah, I think so. I think so.
Yeah, gee, thanks, Mom.
Like, I think so. She's like, you know, all these girls are like making way more birdies. Like, I think that's why they're winning. And I was like, yeah, I think so. But like, thanks for the advice, you know, like.
Talk about LA golf with me real quick, because one day you kind of organically brought it up in a chat, and then there was an official announcement. So did you reach out to them? They reach out to you? Like, how did that partnership happen?
They actually reached out to me. It was like very, very new company. Like, they were still kind of just doing shafts. Like, the first putter hadn't even come out yet. Reed, who's like the CEO and founder, actually knew Claude. So he was like, tried to connect with me through Claude, whatever. We started talking. I kind of told him about my story with Virgil and whatnot, and like how I love designing and kind of, you know, coming up with new things. He was like, oh, we have this new putter, and gave me, you know, the whole LA golf spiel. And I was like, that's so sick. And I kind of just like ran off with like 25 different ideas, like ranted to him on the phone for a long time.
You're good at that.
Yeah. And then flew out here to come meet them. And like a couple months later, he was like, hey, like, we'd love to have you be a part of the company. And then I was named like creative director. So I kind of just help with everything on that front. It's so fun.
That's huge.
Yeah, it's amazing.
You know, because when I did Michelle Wee and Hallie Ledbetter's podcast, I didn't know it was at the LA Golf headquarters.
Oh, right.
So when I did that, then we that gigantic putter that's like this big.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious. It's like this big, right? It's like, and I was putting it with it, and I was like, yo, what the hell? And I was like, and you knew immediately. And then I didn't know much about, because I don't really know, I'm still learning so much right now. I didn't know that they're a famous shaft company.
Yeah.
And I saw Bryson DeChambeau, like I saw that, and I saw DJ, and I'm like, wait a second, these shafts are good? And like, even, I know he's watching right now, but even Stranger, low-key hater, he's like, nah, man, LA golf shafts are lit. Like, bro, trust me, those shafts are crazy. You should try to get one. And immediately, without nothing, she connects me with Aaron. Yeah, whatever you need. What do you need? I'm like, come on, man, it can't be this easy. Paris
Aaron,
can't be this
shout
plugged
out to
in.
Aaron over there at LA Golf, man.
Shout out to Aaron.
Yeah, always a shout out to Aaron.
We have a quote from you. First time for par 3. Paris said, I don't have the same views as the LPGA Tour. In women's golf, you don't see a lot of initiative to move the sport forward and bring it to new media and younger people. I think Michelle Wee is doing a great job, and LA Golf, what we're doing is disruptive. I think we have a chance to move the LPGA forward, which is really exciting. Yeah, Paris, can you talk about what you meant and like what you think the women's game needs, like media-wise and like growth-wise?
Yeah, I think women's golf needs to get a lot younger. I think there needs to be more initiative being done to like help bring younger girls into the game. I think right now they have this whole process where a lot of the girls think, you know, you need to go to school, and if you have influence, it doesn't matter. But like now in this day and age, it really does. Like, it's a very big part of every sport, not just women's golf. And so I think like the use of that, like a lot of these tours, I mean, LPGA specifically, like really needs to be using social media differently. Like now every kid is programmed to only watch 15 seconds. Like my siblings can't even watch a movie. Like it's like, oh, you want me to sit down for 2 hours? Like, no, thanks. You know what I mean? Like I'll get my news from TikTok. Like that's my sister. Like she's like, I'll never sit down to watch golf. And I think a lot of these tours, including the LPGA, are kind of still stuck in this, like, we need to be on TV and we need to push to an older demographic, when in reality, like there needs to be some sort of push to like Gen Z, since that's going to be the people who are going to be watching and like paying attention to the sport and helping it go forward in the future. Yeah.
I mean, you're right. You know, when you think about even with PGA, right? PIP is, that money is like big, who have the most followers. And when you see like LPGA players who are good, I mean, there's less than a handful that have over 200,000 followers, right? But you see someone who's really good and they're verified and they have 9,000 followers and they're really good at golf. That's fucked up.
That's normal.
I know, but that's you know, and then you go on a course with them and they embarrass you, right? But they just don't know how to market. I think they're also afraid to post something that's not golf or, you know, certain things. I don't know.
I think it's hard. Like right now when the sport has no money, like when you're playing it, like you're the best in the world and you're still not making what the 20th player on the PGA Tour is making. it's like, how much time do you put into like start growing something when you're at the tail end of your career? Like all your money's coming from golf. Like it's hard to sacrifice that to try and like risk it with social media. And I think that's how a lot of the girls are looking at it. And I think that like narrative needs to change. And I think that'll start by younger girls kind of using social media.
I think it's very one-dimensional, you know. Even like the NBA has done a lot better with transitioning with the times. Obviously, you know, they have probably a much bigger production budget and everything else, which probably is a whole nother rabbit hole to go in. But I just think it's so one-dimensional. You know, everything is. I mean, we were talking about it on another show that we did, and just like even from just apparel, like everybody's wearing the same thing, everybody looks the same, everybody's like, you have to essentially go with the flow, and nobody's really pushing that needle in any direction to really make a change or a big difference, whether it be youth sports, female sports, whether it be how to get different eyes to attract, how to keep people's attention. Like 18 holes is a long time, right?
Yeah.
We all agree on that. 18 holes is a long time. For one, on TV, they're never showing everybody's every single shot. Everybody who watches TV or watch golf, they think everybody's hitting the ball 5 feet from the pin. No, they just a guy who hooked it out of bounds. They're not going to show his shot unless he's probably number 2 in the world or something. They maybe show it once. So it's like they have so many different ranges to grow the game in, because it's like, as a professional, like for us, fortunately, there's a lot of people who watch, but you're able to see people make mistakes and then recoup from their mistakes.
Yeah.
Out there is like, you only want to present good shots. So when the average or the amateur golfer is going out to play and he's hitting all these bad shots, it's like, yo, I'm really fucking bad. And it's like, no, bro, not only is it hard, but pros do this shit too.
Well, I mean, Jared, what do you think is like the step in the right direction for the LPGA to like? Because like I'll watch an LPGA if it's on. I'll watch it because I love golf. You know, I'm addicted. But I mean, what do you think? Because I mean, if a T70 LPGA player is making like $60,000 a year, like, bro, she's not even breaking even for the year. You know what I mean? Paying for planes and hotels.
No, 100%. I think for me, like, obviously I haven't been a part of the LPGA tour, never will be, for obvious reasons. But like, I just feel like it's different. Like, you have to listen to the players. What do they want? What do they need? What do they think that can actually grow the game better? Because they're in the thick of it every single day. For somebody who's making $60,000 and probably grinding 8 hours a day, let alone add that up into a month, you're working overtime on overtime if that's the salary. So we have to figure out better ways to present a even better product. Like, to me, I 100% would do gender matches. Pick a partner, whatever, and literally have guys and girls playing with each other, tee it up from different tees or whatever, and go at it. Because honestly, and I think more men are afraid of it than the women are, because they'll really lose. No, seriously, like, women are fucking good, bro. Right. I watch the LPGA all the time. They center the club every single time, barely miss a fairway. Every green, every putt's ridiculous. Like, look at the numbers. It's not even, it's astronomically different. And I really feel as though, being a man, we put it like this only to keep them at a certain level. Because if the playing fields were equal, they'll blow us out of the water. It ain't even close. It's like basketball. The only difference between the NBA and the WNBA is the females can't dunk. So if you lower that rim to 8.5, 9 feet, and they start dunking on motherfuckers, and you start seeing girls like really jamming on you, and they already got the cross, and there's a better version of basketball, to me, it's just a better product, because they know what they're doing, and nothing is out of the norm. Nobody's just trying to jump off one leg, throw it out of bounds, twisting. Obviously, that's my shot, but you know, that's not the game for them. And I love that part, because you're actually learning how to play, how to do something, how to swing a club, how to shoot a shot. You're not just learning some dude who's just freakishly athletic who can, that 1% of the fraction of a percent in the population can do.
You know what? He's right. Because I remember talking to Alex Kang one time, and I was like, listen, how many times do you kick Danielle's ass? And the first thing he said was, what tees we playing from? I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, she's playing from her tees, I'm playing from my tees. I'm like, yeah. He goes, I don't know. I was like, what do you mean? Oh no, bro, you got the course record at the win, bro. What are you talking about? And he goes, she's playing her tees and I'm playing my tees. I'm like, yeah. He goes, I don't know. I'm like, what do you mean you don't know, Alex? Are you whooping her or not? And he goes,
No.
I don't think so. And I was like, are you serious right now? He goes, yes, bro, I'm dead serious.
And he said something to me when we had Michelle Wee on. He's like, could you beat Michelle Wee? And I'm like, hell no, right? I'm like, no, dude. I'm like, I'll never be able to beat her from any tee. Like, I could play on her tee.
No, if you played from the same tees,
she'll
no
beat
chance.
me. For the rest of her life, I will never beat her one time.
No
Never.
chance.
Never,
If you're playing
ever,
from the
ever.
tips,
if
Steven?
I'm playing from the same tee box as she is, she will beat me and JR every single time we play for the rest of our
Bro,
life.
I'll tell you what,
Correct?
we can switch tee boxes. We can literally switch tee boxes.
Yeah.
I'll play from her tee, she can play from my tee, and
she's
she'll
gonna beat
still
us.
beat me, for sure.
No.
She's going to
That's
beat
cap.
us. No, it's not.
Okay.
Cap.
That's
It's a
100%
fact.
cap.
I told her, I said, listen to what I said to her. Then I told her you said that when we were in there. And I said, Michelle, da-da-da-da. I said, what do you shoot when you play bad? She's like, even. That's bad.
that is bad
What?
for her.
That's good for me and JR. That's great
amazing.
if I
Bro,
shoot
if I
even.
shoot
It's the best
even?
day of my life if
Are
I
you
shoot
kidding
even.
me?
That's a horrible day from her. Her good day is 8 under, 9 under. We're not shooting 9 under. I could barely shoot 1 over. I'm happy as
Literally.
shit if I shoot 73.
Did you hear what he said?
Man,
She'll be
what?
pissed at
He said
73.
he played from the red tees and she plays from the black tees.
She'll beat him every day.
All day.
Okay, bro.
She'll beat me and him every single day of the week because she can chip and putt better than anyone in the world.
And her accuracy's better.
Her accuracy is perfect. She hits the tee ball, 280? No problem. Dead straight down the middle. Where would I have an advantage against her? She hits it just as far as me. Maybe I can hit it a little farther if I throw my back out, but that's not happening. She's
I'm
going to
just
beat
saying,
me in every
JR's
bit
par
of it.
fours now will be 280, 320.
Yeah,
you know
and
what I
he's
mean?
going to
What
spray
does
it
that
right in the
mean?
woods.
Right.
And
Drive the green, JR.
yeah,
No,
drive
sir.
it in the bushes on the right
Yeah,
of the
drive it
green.
right out of
Take
bounds.
another bogey.
Paris, what do you think?
Paris
Double.
can beat
Yeah.
me. and
No, I'm
him.
saying if what his idea, if you had women match up, you know what I'm saying, like with let's say for instance, Xander is playing the black tees, right? And then the other girls are playing do you think I would watch it.
Yeah,
all day
no, I
long.
love that. I've been saying that for a while. I think it would just bring in so many more people because it adds some more tension. It adds it's just more exciting. Obviously there's going to be women playing women and men playing men, but there needs to be some different sort of event in there too. It's hard because golf is such a stagnant sport. It's 5 hours of the same thing over and over and over again. So I think if there's any way to kind of change things up and make it more exciting, it'll help tremendously.
Think of that one. John Rahm from the back tees, Nelly Korda from the women's tees. It's going to be very hard for John to beat her, correct?
For
Yeah.
sure.
It just...
It would be it's
It's going to be very hard for him to beat her, very hard. Meaning, I think she's going to win more because she can hit it so far
In 72 holes, Steven?
in fucking
don't give a-
300 holes. It doesn't
don't
matter.
matter.
It doesn't matter. She's going to beat him more than he's going to beat her from the women's tee. She will be driving the green constantly and he won't. And she hits it straight and she can putt and chip. It's over. From the women's tees, those pros can't beat Nelly Korda from the ladies' tees. That's
And
not
you
going to
got to think,
happen.
bro. He's trying to hit it 330 on the dot every single time.
Yeah.
She knows where it's going, how far it's going exactly, and then she's never trying to swing her back out of it. And it's still going to go 280. Never going to be in trouble.
And a short game's
Bro, do you know
insane.
what? Listen, if Justin Thomas and Tiger could do that, the match, they got to figure out a way to do this because that's the most exciting thing I've heard. Nelly,
But
Danielle.
like he said, the dudes are scared to do it.
Yeah.
For sure.
The dudes don't want to do that. Nelly Korda going to whip
On
up on
TV?
John
I'm
Rahm
about to
on
go
TV.
embarrass myself
He's
on
not
TV
doing
and
it.
lose.
Bro, if
yeah,
they could just
they
do
don't wanna
12
do that.
pairings, that would be insane. I guarantee it'd be watched. I'd watch.
100%.
I think, to me, I think that's the most equal level game that there is to where you can literally have matches like that. You can't really do that in basketball. You can't do that in baseball or you really golf is literally the only sport that you can put two of the opposite sex and have a literally a level playing field. And bro, I dare you. I don't think you're gonna win. Now you put LeBron out there next to Diana Taurasi. What do you think is gonna happen? But if you put John Rahm, Nelly Korda right here, and look, You got 15, 20 yards. What you going to do, bro? I don't think he comes out on top a lot. That's just me.
I mean, there is some of these holes are 100-yard difference, though. PGA tees to...
That's what I'm trying to say. So how's he going to beat her? She's just as good as he is at short game. From 150...
If not better.
From 200 yards in, they're equal. The girls hit hybrids right by the hole, 200 yards, all day. All day. That's what they do. So, like... Yeah, John Rahm can hit a hard, 7-iron 200. But what's the difference? The girl just going to hit a little smooth hybrid and let it bounce and roll right up by the hole.
How does the world ranking points work for women? Is it the same thing as on the PGA?
It's the same thing as the men.
And have you heard anything about a live women's thing going on? Are they going to try to do something or?
Right now, there's in the European Tour, there's 6 events that are called the Aramco Team Series, and they're run by Golf Saudi. But as of right now, I don't know if there's going to be an actual live women's tour.
Because if there is, I think 99% of the LPGA tour is going there. When that girl told me she made $60,000, I was like, well, at least it's $60,000. She's like, it cost me $64,000 to play last year.
Yeah, I think what people don't realize in golf is golf's the only sport where there's no guaranteed money, and you're spending money. So you pay to enter the event, you pay to get to the event, you pay your caddy. You're paying for everything essentially. So every time you miss the cut, you're losing so much money. And even when you make the cut, if you're not making anything, you're also losing money.
And on top of that, the membership that it costs, the dues you pay in the month, wherever you practicing at.
What's up, everyone? Today's episode is sponsored by Long Drink, the Finnish drink. Long Drink is a big supporter of ours and a big supporter of golf. And it is goddamn delicious. Find the nearest location near you at longdrink.com.
So just things like that, like what Paris is doing on the work side, that's not easy to do those types of things. She works with people like Tom Sachs, Jerry Lorenzo, doing fashion shows all over and back. And then I remember when me and Erica met you one morning in Soho.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm going to come over there at 10. It's like, cool. Gets there at 10, I was like, what'd you do this morning? She said, I ran to the Empire State Building and back. After being out at a New York Fashion Week party until 3, 4 in the morning, get up at 8, run to the Empire State Building, run back, come meet us for a smoothie. By 10. No big deal, right?
Yes.
No big deal,
No,
just motivated,
That and the fact that I'm 19, I think that might catch up soon.
What is your goal for the game of golf? Where do you see yourself in 5 years from now? What would you like to be doing?
I mean, obviously, I love golf so much and I want to be the best at it. So goal is always going to be best in the world. And I'm going to continue working for that until I get there. I would say my overall biggest goal is to actually see improvement in growing the game and bringing in more culture and diversity, because I feel the game's lacking it severely. So, I mean, if I could be a little part of that happening, that would make everything that I'm doing that much better. So that's not the golf side. So golf side, best in the world, easy.
Right. I mean, but
like that.
Playing, competing and stuff, right? But low key, you're an advocate for bringing more money to women.
Yeah.
Because they should get it. Look, people hit me up from the LPGA Tour, girls with before even, you even signed Yedem, right? And Yelimi, but in Korean Yedem, but people yo, can you get me Malbon golf? I'm like, what are you talking about? Yeah, no problem. I didn't know Malbon didn't have women in America. I didn't know that. And, he signed his first LPGA player. And,
she co-signed.
Yeah.
I hit her up, what do you think? She's like, do it.
I mean, that's the homie, so basically, why don't you start an agency or something and try to do that? I know you're only 19, but still you're, to try to get these girls a bigger bag and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I can add that to the list.
It's like the chicken before the egg, though. It's how if the people aren't watching on TV and the people who own the rights to it aren't cutting it into snackable content that people can watch where young people watch it, and young people are the ones who watch things on TikTok and Instagram and social. So if you're not making content for young people and young people aren't watching TV, and it's only old people watching TV, it's a
Especially
weird, You know what I mean? It's like a weird position. It's like, so how can she get a bigger amounts of money for a LPGA player that is top 10 in the world and has 6,000 followers on Instagram and gets her face shown on TV once a week and no one watches it? It's like, where does the return of investment coming from the brand guy? You know what I mean? It's I'm not giving them 300 grand, like, for what? Where she's doing stuff with these fashion brands. She has TikTok, she has social, and she's really good at golf and playing tournaments. And so if someone like her goes and plays on the LPGA tour and all of the people that are in her community and following her, et cetera, start watching it on, because like the other day you were like, the only way I can really change shit is this if I go on tour.
Yeah.
Because you can try all you want from like TikTok. And it's like, it's not going to like make anyone pay attention that's high up at the tour or the networks, et cetera. But like, if she's playing on tour and wearing that off-white shit I just talked about, and you know what I mean? Then all of a sudden it's like, wow. Because the people who follow her in her life would then go and watch her on the network. And then they'll see it spike, like, wow.
No, you're right.
And I was just thinking the question to ask you, like, in my head, like, over the last, like, you know, since I've played golf, I can't think of too many LPGA, like, superstar golfers that, like, had anything to do with like fashion or that like I was like fanned out on. Like, so when we did Michelle Wie, like I'm a fan of Michelle Wie. Like I was nervous sitting next to her on the air because it's fucking Michelle Wie. But like she used to dye her hair and put tees in her hair and like wear the blazers, those Nike blazers. But like, is there anyone you can think of other than her?
No,
that's
I mean,
like significant?
Like when I started, I mean, I never really like watched golf. I just kind of started playing it. I watched like basketball and soccer and stuff like that. But really, like when I started, you know, Michelle was sort of towards the end of her like career. Like she was about to like retire or whatever. Like she's not retired, but really she was the only person that I ever was like, oh wow, like she's dressed really cool. Like I love that outfit she's wearing. And she was really the only person I ever cared to somewhat follow and watch. Again, like I didn't really watch it, but if I saw her, I'd be like, oh, dope. Like she looks cool and she's got cool shoes on. So like if I'm going to watch it at all, like I'm definitely going to go watch her. But besides Michelle, I haven't really seen anyone else that's had that same effect on me anyways.
Anyone come to your mind, JR? Women that have like pushed it a bit?
No, not that I can think of. Because like when you say Michelle, I think of the blazers, the socks, the tees, all of like so many different things that just like. And when I see it now, it's more like obviously being in college. It's more like college. Like the college girls, a few college girls that I've seen, like they were really swagged out. They got the Nikes, they got the visor with the tees, different color coordinated situations and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, like now that's dope. Like, why don't more girls dress like that? And then it's like, damn, you hit the ball 50 yards right. Okay, maybe it'd be the FootJoys, but I hit the bitch 300 yards right. So I don't know.
Every time I've seen Michelle, she's had like, whether it be fragments on or Travis Scott's or like even like acronym, like she's really wearing like high-end Japanese streetwear fashion Nikes, and she had like different fits on, and I was like, okay, Michelle gets it. But then like when I have to be in my LPGA shit, you know, it's different. I get it. Like there's not many people, you know, not many of them were, why am I drawing a blank right now? What's the Asian chick who's number one in the world right now?
Lydia?
Yeah, Lydia. Like Lydia just got married and they're just like, you know, you see people in their street clothes. And then, I'm not dissing her. I'm just saying like you see people in their street clothes. You're like, oh, okay. All right, I get it.
She's wearing what you would expect her to wear.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. It's not like left field like Michelle rocking fragments. Like, it's not.
Yeah. How about she came in like the bucket hat and the corduroy, like, I was like, what the hell at this? By the way, he was a big fan. For the first like 10 minutes, he was like, I was like, you all right, bro? He was like, no, I'm fanning out. I was like, I didn't think it was like.
I looked at her, I feel weird next to you. I'm fanning out. I don't even know.
I still think you would beat her, but
I couldn't beat her at fucking nothing. That ain't involved with golf. He's really stuck on this thing. Imagine.
Like, I'm just talking about you playing her tees and she's playing your tees. It's just no way.
I said we set it up, man.
Are you crazy? Cool. I could go to, she's a member to El Cab.
Yeah.
I could play the women's tee at El Cab, and if I shot even, I'd be happy. she can go play the back tees there and shoot even, no problem. Right? Like
Yeah.
on
In
a
her
bad
sleep.
day. On a bad day.
Okay, you know what? For some reason, it just clicked right now. You're right. She probably could shoot even from the back tees. You're right.
That
Okay.
isn't even a good day. That's a shitty day. But me, if I have a great day from the women's tee, I'll shoot even. Fucking golf is hard, man. Like you still got to putt, you got to hit pitch shots, you got to chip, you got bunkers,
lot
you
that
got
goes
rough.
into that game.
It doesn't make it any easier for me if I'm teeing off with
JR,
a 4
if you play
iron or a
Michelle Wee from the
driver.
white tees, both you guys are the white tees, she gives you 3 strokes.
She gonna give me 6 at
Yeah,
least.
you're not taking 3. I wouldn't take
least.
3 strokes from her. You crazy,
From her?
even
You better
tees.
give me 6 aside.
Exactly.
6 aside.
Shit.
You are crazy.
Man,
So,
listen.
talk about the future of you in LA Golf. Like, what would you like to see happen out of this? Out of you being a creative director and everything, and like,
I mean, I'd love to just like keep growing. Obviously, like we have the new putters coming out. Our ball just came out. We're going very much as like a golf
there's a
company.
new ball.
Yeah,
Okay, talk about
just
the ball.
launched. Actually,
Got
we've
those.
done like a very disruptive kind of fun campaign with it that you probably wouldn't expect to see in golf. We used Paige Spearnick. Yes.
I was actually gonna. I'll ask that next, but go on. Okay, so
Yeah, just launched.
is Bryson using it? Because he's like a crazy technical golf ball type
He
of dude.
has his own version in the works. That's very
I heard
technical.
him talk on a podcast for 15 minutes about the dimples in a golf
Yeah,
ball.
it sounds about
and I was
right.
like, all right, bro.
Sounds about right.
Now you've gone too damn far. Like you've gone crazy.
Yeah.
When you talk about Paige, I was just curious. How do you feel about the golf influencers that are like wearing short skirts and shapely and this and that and whatever? And is that like, do you like? Can Paige play golf? Is she any good or?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like, I'm not in the same lane as Paige, but I don't really understand all the hate towards her. Like, Paige played college golf at San Diego State. I think she was really good. Like, she almost won a national title.
Oh,
So
okay.
Paige is actually a very good golfer. I don't know where that misconception comes from, where these girls all of a sudden can't play golf because they're in a different lane than professional golf. I don't know. I like a lot of them. They're really cool people, and I mean, they're just kind of in their own like world. You know, they're not trying to play pro golf. They're just doing their own thing, which I think is cool.
So back to the LA golf ball. Are you playing the ball now or no?
I am. Yes.
Okay. Do you feel like, I mean, like
It's really good.
what did you play with? What ball did you play with before the LA?
TaylorMade TP5X.
Okay, same ball I play with. Do you ever use a Pro V1 before?
No, I did not. I've always used TaylorMade.
Okay,
Yeah, start to now.
and you think the LA golf ball is like it's you're happy with it?
It's legit. Yeah, I love it.
Oh damn,
love
I gotta
it,
check
yeah.
that ball out. Have you played with it yet?
I have not.
I have to get you some.
But
Yeah,
I
you
will.
used it yet?
I haven't. I've been saving mine just in case they like try to, do a discontinued situation. I'm selling them on eBay. Hey man, resales everywhere.
I can get you more, JR. It's okay.
You know what? I knew a girl. You know what I'm saying? I knew somebody.
That's right.
All right, well shit. What's next for Paris then?
A lot. Not a lot that I can like totally talk about, but hopefully playing, professional golf and being really good at it. Obviously every day you're working to get better. It's kind of a roller coaster of a sport, but I'm getting there. And then the fashion side, a lot of exciting projects coming out. So
How many rounds of golf would you say you play a week at least? I mean, do you play?
depends on where I am. But if I'm home, like full rounds, 4 maybe.
Yeah, that's a lot.
But I'm practicing like every day. So.
You said that's a lot? Bro, she could play 36 a day if she wanted to, but she's only playing 4 rounds because she practices 6 hours a day.
Yeah.
That's a
So
true
that's
statement.
like playing.
Quick story. Me, Erica, JR, and Paris played in that Kith thing
Oh,
as
yeah.
a team. So just to let you understand how much better Paris is than me and Erica, and I'm not going to
As well
speak
as
for
myself.
JR,
Throw me in there.
it's a scramble. So
Yeah.
remember when you played with John Rahm?
Yeah.
She's John Rahm. Does that make sense?
No, literally, we was using her drives, bro.
Every hole. She wouldn't
Damn.
tee off on the women's tee. She's teeing off from the men's tee, and we're using her drive. 80% of the time.
We won. Just
And then of
throwing
course
that out
we
there.
run because
Just letting everyone know.
we got Drippy with us.
There's no jacket over here. Oh no, it's in Jersey.
By the
The
way,
jacket's in Jersey.
we didn't play a scramble, dog, but I feel what you're saying.
What was it? A shamble? That's the same.
No, it isn't. I had a whole out, dog.
That's a shamble.
That's a shamble.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying it's not the same as a scramble. I had a whole out every
I got
shot.
you. I got you. That's probably what we played too. I don't know what it is, but all right, everybody. That's another beautiful episode of the Par 3 podcast.
I love
I got to
that.
get my ass to the airport.
Paris, I appreciate you coming on the show. Thank you
course,
very
yeah,
much.
thank you for having me.
Appreciate it. I'll see you.
Who wants to take us out of
the
here?
range.
Yeah, always.
We'll see you guys at the drive range. See Paris all over the world. JR, Ben Baller, Stephen Malbon, Paris Hilinski. Until next time.